We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on the Bills offense. Nice little game preview for the Dolphins game, how they can potentially slow down Josh Allen and Buffalo this time around. I think, there's definitely some keys. You look at this Patriots game, because the Patriots have definitely had the most success against Josh Allen. They do a really good job on, the front end and the back end, really making things difficult for him. I think the Dolphins could definitely take, a page out of their playbook. But yeah, just like even historically, the Dolphins have been really struggling versus Josh Allen over the recent times, but there also is some good stuff on their side. If you look at them being at home, the Dolphins are way better at home. They also haven't lost back-to-back all season, so that kind of plays into their favor. It's important for the seeding. Dolphins win, they're the 2 seed. They lose, they're the 6 seed. And then for the Bills, it depends on how their games play out for them. But if they lose, they could potentially not even make it. So it's going to be a big game. And then to me, the keys to this, up front, interior pressure. The Patriots did a great job of getting quick interior pressure, which is so important to getting to Josh Allen, especially now for the Dolphins. So Wilkins and Steeler really got to step up, especially with no Phillips, no Chubb for the rest of the year. Having just some interior pressure, I think, will be very, very nice. Beating their guards, I think, is where you want to attack them anyways. They got some good tackle play. What I want to see from the Dolphins' edges is just like good contain and good effort, because when Allen tries to escape the pocket, he will. That's where he typically, makes the game. He either makes or breaks the game. He'll either make an insane play throwing it down the field, or that's where he'll have his turnovers. So just high effort, keeping him contained. Don't allow him to run the ball a whole ton. The Bills also run the ball a lot more now with their new offensive coordinator. It's going to be a different matchup than the first week. This is like the keys to me, like this side of the ball. I feel like I know what to expect from the Dolphins offense versus the Bills defense. I feel like I have a pretty good idea where that's going to go. But this side, I feel like, has a huge range of outcomes, like of where it can be. Dolphins defense could either, give up 40 plus or give up like low 20s really in this game. And if they give up low 20s, they have a very, very good shot of winning. And it'll be exciting to see. And yeah, we'll see how Fangio plans it. Also, the Patriots on the back end played so many, got to give them credit. They played so many different coverages. They were disguising stuff. They pretty much were about as versatile as you could be with playing, it went from cover 1, cover 3, cover 2, cover 4, cover 6. They played literally everything, and there wasn't anything they didn't show any tendencies, and it really helped confuse Allen a lot throughout this game. Then after the big sack, obviously go after the ball. Allen's going to, while he's getting hit, try to make some plays. He's not going to tuck that ball in all the time. He's going to try to break the tackle. He's going to try to flip that ball out, keeping, playing till the whistle ends. Fight for those extra yards. Turnovers are going to be key. I feel like Josh Allen, obviously he has a lot of turnovers this season, but it feels like whenever the Dolphins play them, they're not able to force them and at that same consistent level that he has them versus other teams. So they got to be able to do that. Patriots ran cover 3 on the first play. They're just disguising that this time, rotating to cover 2. Allen just takes off immediately. Having maybe a spy on him throughout this game, I think, could be important. Could see a few different people out there. But yeah, important maintaining your rush lanes. But I feel like Dolphins really tried to maintain their rush lanes last time and couldn't get after Lamar, so it'll be a tough matchup. But they got to be able to pressure Josh Allen and not allow him to just freely escape and find his guys down the field, and then not having, a bunch of miscommunications on the back end will be very important. Then 3rd and 6, they went cover 3, cover 2, and now they're in cover 1, showing this pressure pre-snap. They rotate into cover 1. They end up bringing 5 with a spy right there. And then they actually even get a lot of time. Bills actually do a very good job of blocking up blitzes. They always have. That's why the Dolphins don't bring a whole ton versus the Buffalo team. They just try to get after them with 4. But they block it up. They have this spy here. But they're able to contain Allen within this pocket and force him to throw. And they just cover this well in the back end. It's a 3rd and 6. And he tries to hit this over to Kincaid. Has to make a perfect throw. Allen was also a little bit off in this game. And for some reason, whenever he plays the Dolphins, he turns into, the best player of all time, which is unfortunate. So hopefully Dolphins can win. If they do lose, it's not the end of the world. They're still in playoffs, and you just got to go and win your games that way through the road, which is tough. But winning is pretty key if you want, if you want to have the best success to get to the Super Bowl. Because being the 2 seed, I think they would have a pretty decent shot of getting to that AFC Championship game. Gonna, look at a couple runs here. James Cook is a solid player. I think if the Dolphins can stop the run, they're going to have some success this time around. They're going to run the ball more than they did last time. They like to do a lot of pulling, gap scheme stuff. Guys got to be able to key that stuff, process, get downhill. James Cook is very good at making people miss in space. Just, back-to-back runs. It seems like he just always is, and then, running some inside zone. Good vision, quick decision maker. It seems like he's just picking up 5 to 6 yards a pop every time. The Dolphins can hold him to, a little bit less than that, like 3-4 yards. I think they have a good shot of slowing down this offense. forcing that ball into, Josh Allen's hands, which he'll make some big plays off of that for sure, but then they can also create some big turnovers, because I think this game being in Miami definitely gives the Dolphins a very good shot of winning this one. Back to the passing game, it's a 2nd and 10. Patriots in quarters this time. They'll run legitimately everything. You can see Allen escapes the pocket, just misses his play down the field. It just feels like usually he makes those types of plays. It's usually kind of where he makes a lot of big plays. But they're able to bring, 4 up front, but they bring the blitz with the linebacker, and it forces Allen to escape the pocket pretty quickly. Dolphins definitely will play some quads. And another interesting thing is, like, even though the Bills ate them up last time, a lot of the coverages Allen typically has struggled. Like, I think he struggled against cover 6, throwing his most interceptions versus that coverage, and the Dolphins run that at a higher rate than any team in the league. So hopefully with them, being more comfortable within the scheme at this point of the year, you can't afford to have another an early score Bills performance or the Ravens performance last week. Injuries will be key. They have a lot of injuries, but sticking with your guy, once they get into your zone, it's been a while, stick with them. Basically becomes man-to-man. Allen is going to escape the pocket. Get your eyes on your man, especially if you're a DB. Make smart decisions. Don't just all come rolling downfield unless it's like very obvious that he's going to run the ball. Let your guys down there that are responsible for it make those plays, and just stick with your guys so you have the potential to just knock the ball down with your shoulder. The Bills' offense did really struggle in this game. Like, a lot of their points came off of turnovers too. Like, they weren't getting anything going. This is another thing I'm worried about. The Dolphins really struggled with the running backs last week, Justice Hill, and we're not quite sure if Jerome Baker's going to play or not yet. But James Cook, since they made the OC change, has been a huge part of the passing game, especially even downhill, like throwing these wheel routes, things like this. This ball just gets missed a little bit, but it was still potentially open. This linebacker looks like he might show some pressure, but then he just gets man-to-man. So they're going to definitely, like, if the Bills don't attempt shots like that to the running back, at least, once, I'm expecting multiple times, I think they're insane, especially if they don't get him, like, isolated with Duke Riley, because Riley was very, very much struggling in man-to-man last week versus their running backs, and James Cook is definitely a guy that is very valuable at that part of the game. 3rd and 6, Patriots go cover 1. They are, a team that does like to run cover 1 a decent amount and then mix things up, but they do a good job. Like, Bills try to run a cover 1 beater, they run the mesh, but look how they just mess up the timing of this. Like, their linebackers did a good job of walling stuff off, just getting in the way. This guy's not 5 yards down the field, get in the way, force him off the timing of this. Now he slows down the timing of the other guy running the mesh, and now it's just all off, and they get the incompletion. They just make smart plays across the board. They cover up well on the back end. Look at them disguise this stuff, make it look like it might be a 2-safety look, or this guy rotating to single high, but he rotates down, Duggar rotates there, and everyone is in a spot to potentially make a play. And then they also get some free looks here from a blitzing DB, I believe. Yes, just coming in free. They just did a good job with their stuff, like beating they slide to the right, and they end up bringing the perfect pressure look. So, Fangio gonna have to call a much better game compared to the Baltimore game last week. It did seem like when they did start to get things a little bit going for the Bills offense, like, it was versus some cover 2 and just attacking the middle of the field. I think Allen hasn't been that great, like, statistically in the middle of the field this year, but that is an area you can attack versus the Dolphins. So, keeping an eye on Kincaid, him and them being on the same page, just getting the ball out pretty fast. Feels like that's something that teams attempt to do versus the Dolphins a lot, so I could see the Bills going for that part of the game. Like, since they made that OC change, Diggs hasn't been as big a part. I don't know if the Dolphins, like, I know they've only shot it once this all year with Ramsey, and I don't know if they're going to do it again. I expect Diggs to be a much bigger part of the game plan this week versus the Dolphins, just because it seems like he finds more success versus them. But they might not shadow just with how uninvolved Diggs has been over these past few weeks, and the Dolphins don't love to do that anyways. Here's the interception they threw in this game, and this is just, first of all, it's an insane play by this corner. Patriots are in cover 3, and he and the safety communicate perfectly, and he flips out of it. That's why communication is so important on the back end, because he's getting threatened vertically here, but once he stems this to the inside, him and the safety communicate like, hey, I got this guy, get over to the wheel. They're trying to create this space by pulling both of these guys to the inside, pull this DB. Allen makes the read. He sees that guy's hips open, but he center field turns out of it, makes a real play. I mean, I don't really see any Dolphins corners other than Ramsey making that type of play who's going to be playing in this game. I mean, this is the side of the field Ramsey would be on. But yeah, just baiting throws, being disciplined, communication on the back end lead to the big time turnovers. they're going to try to get these shots down the field just like this. It's the play action, create a clean pocket. Allen hit his back foot, and these things take a while to develop, but it gets the exact look he wants. But the Patriots center field turns out of it, and that was an insanely impressive play. 2nd and 2 situation, they rotate into cover 2. Patriots disguising again pre-snap. Love this stuff. They're running some inverted 2, very interesting. And it just, makes Allen not get rid of the ball super quickly, and then they just win the battle up front. The Keon White destroys the guard. I feel like, and last time when the Dolphins played them, I feel like the only player that had a good game was Christian Wilkins, and Sealer wasn't too bad either. So the D tackles, even though the defense got destroyed, were still making some plays. So now with the whole defense potentially playing better, they can just win their one-on-one matchups. The Patriots abused those guards, force Allen to, try to do something or just get rid of the ball very quickly. And it's a lot more difficult for QBs to escape when the edges are just containing, and then the D lineman just wins their battles so quickly, because it's very difficult to just step up into the pocket right away because the edges haven't gained a ton of depth. The D line wins so fast that it's not like a lot of room to work with, and that's going to be very, very important for this Dolphins defense, for their success for probably the rest of the season, but really important in this Bills game. Last play we're going to break down. This is a 3rd and 12. This is the types of plays that change the game. I feel like the Dolphins have given up a lot of 3rd and longs to the Bills. They get some pressure. He has to hold on to the ball. And then this is exactly what the Dolphins do, They just see the quarterback break contain. When it's a 3rd and long situation and you guys got guys chasing him this close and you're this defender, stick with Kincaid until this guy passes the line of scrimmage. And now it just gives Kincaid wide open. They don't stick with their man. Those are important. Dolphins need to just do a much better job when they're in scramble drill. Josh not giving up just easy completions like they did to Lamar. Then you're going to have to be able to, once you take away the easy ones, you got to have to doing the tough stuff when Allen decides to escape and make plays with his legs. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.